up, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes. Today we are looking at the Panzer Clone, okay? This guy I got from happyvaper.com. I've got a Patriot clone on here. I got this from Happy Vaper as well. Go check them out if you want to look at them, all right? What can I say? It's a Panzer Clone. It hits really hard. The voltage drop on this is minimal. I can feel it by taste. I also put an inline voltmeter on here. When I do test with an inline voltmeter, I always use an Aspire Nautilus tank on it, and it gives me a fairly accurate reading between different mods. So I know my Copper Nemesis hits at like 4.07 on it. I know my Gold Sentinel hits at like 4.04. My Private V2 hits at like 3.95. A Magneto will hit at like 3.63. Regular stainless Nemesis will hit at about 3.8. This guy hits at about 4. About 4 even, 3.97 up to 4.02. That's where it hits. So it is up there on the voltage drop. It hits pretty well. When I first got this, I was having some problems with my battery dying really quick. Like it would hit super hard, and then my battery would be dying within, an hour or so. Whereas I can usually keep it going if I pace myself for like 4 hours of the day, okay? I found what was happening was there was some burr inside the threading on my lock switch, and it was arcing a bit, so I was losing some power through that little arc. I tried to get rid of it using a toothbrush and cleaning it out. I even got a wire brush and kind of went in there to clean up the threading. I couldn't quite get it out because it's like the threads are just smashed in one spot. So that's kind of a problem with it. It does look good. It's close now where I don't get that arc flash. It's really, minimal when it happens. Hopefully you can get one on here right now. But yeah, it hits good. I watched DJ Vapes video. He was having a problem with the top cap, his Addy kind of sitting on there flush. When I got this out of the box, I put it on and it sits like this. I didn't have to do anything to it. When we go a little more up close with it, I'll tell you how to get rid of that problem if you're having it. We'll take it apart, look at the components, talk about it. Then we'll come back, chat about it, and then we out, all right? So let's take a look and see all the components. All right, guys, this is the Panzer Clone. I watched another video where someone had a huge gap on this. I think it was DJ Vapes video, and he had to kind of mash that pin down. I don't really have much of a gap on any of my Addies, although it is slightly crooked. Like right here, there's a bit of a gap, and this side there isn't. That's not a big deal to me, but it might be for some. Take off the Addy and the top of it. So your pin in there is stationary. It's not going to move. It's fixed where it is. If you need to move it, that's where it is. Okay, you can bash that with a screwdriver and a mallet, or push it with something kind of blunt and just push it out of the way. It is a brass pin in there. The gear on this thing on the top cap is super nice. Like, it is engraved. Like, this is not laser etch, it's engraved. Like, it's like a millimeter deep. It's really, really nice. It's got your Panzer logo on here. The font is a little different than the original. And for all intents and purposes, it might as well not even have it on here, because this is not the MCV Philippines or Masterpiece Custom Vapes Panzer. It's not, okay? It is well built. It's a heavy mech mod, okay? It's a really heavy mechanical. It's nice to fit in your hand, like it feels good. The bottom of it, it's got your gas mask guy on there. This one happens to be serial number 3175. It's got your it's brass firing pin on here, brass, and stainless. I think the stainless is 304. So open it up. I'll take my battery out of here. So this is your connection to your battery. This is adjustable. It will not move that stationary pin, but it is adjustable for battery rattle. Okay, there's a Delrin insulator in here and a brass kind of thread in for your connector here. Okay, that's the top cap. Pretty simple. This thing comes apart. This has a crown piece right here that twists out. So if you wanted to run this instead of 18650 mode, you wanted to run this in 18500, you could take this piece off, then put your top cap on there, and that's your 18500 mode. Okay, it's got your centerpiece here. And this center piece, it's got 4 vent holes in it. I think they're about 1.5 mil or 2 mil vent holes for your battery in this. Threading in this is really nice. It's a really smooth, well-machined mod. Although I have found that there's some burrs in mine that I just could not get out with a toothbrush. I tried a wire brush. I just couldn't get all of the burrs out, which resulted in a bit of arc flashing down at the bottom firing button when I was firing low resistance builds. Like I'm talking under 0.2 ohm stuff, like very low resistance. Okay, then it's got this other piece right here. This is your third body section. So if you wanted to run this in 18350, you just get rid of these 2 pieces and then put this in here and put your top cap on there, and that's your little 18350. Okay, nice cute little mod for you. Take that off. Let's take a look at this firing button because it's kind of nice. The threading on this is really good too. It's just smooth. It just spins. Like it just spins. Really, really nice. It's got a Delrin insert right here so that your battery is not touching there and constantly firing. Okay, I've seen some videos where people had problems with this brass button backing out, and throughout the day their firing button backs out, gets crunchy. Before they know it, it's out here. The best way I've found to run this is all the way down. Like you just screw this down until it stops and it doesn't back out. Mine doesn't anyway. To take this apart, try and get this started. Just get this spinning. Pull that little connection off. It's a little brass connection. Take that out, and your whole button assembly will come out with a spring. So there's your spring. There's your brass fire button. Okay. Then there's only 2 pieces left, which is your brass piece with the Delrin in here and your lock ring assembly. So you just spin that apart, and if you want to take it all apart and clean it up, you can. Where I was having big time burr problems were in the threading in here, and it's really rough in a couple of spots and it just flashes. Like if you start putting builds on that are low resistance, you will get arc flash if you have those burrs. I cannot get them out. First thing you should do if you buy a new mech mod is take it all apart, clean all the threading, clean the body. I usually use rubbing alcohol and clean everything up. That seems to work well for me. And this would work better if I reverse threaded it like it's supposed to go. Bam! Okay, so putting it back together, same way it came apart. Pretty easy. Well, maybe. Easier said than done. Alright, so like I said, I just turn this in until it bottoms as far as it'll go. Throw on that. It's really nice. It's a light press. Feels really good. When you do thread that all the way in, you can set this down and it almost flush mounts that button. So you can set it down and it won't fire on you. Okay? Putting it back together, you can put this any way you want. Like if you wanted to put this with the vent holes on the bottom, you can. And then kind of put your crown in here and put this on, whatever you want. I just like running it with this kind of knurled ring on the bottom. I just think it looks the best this way. But you know, that's personal opinion, right? Yeah, nice threading. Like it goes together really good. There's nothing on these threads. It's just rubbing alcohol clean from the last time I cleaned it, which has been probably a week anyway now. Battery in. Now, playing around with this, I probably moved this to a different spot, so you're going to have some problems. We're going to get battery rattle, right? So in order to get rid of that, you just turn that out and lengthen it. Hopefully it's close. Oh, my lock ring's jiggling right now. A little bit of jiggle left. Hopefully that does it. It didn't. That's another problem I've had, is sometimes when you think you're close and you turn this out, it's not. Like, it's weird. This button, it trips me out. Okay, now I got a little bit of a gap. I've gone too far. We'll move that in. Hopefully that did it. Oh, of course it didn't do it. I'm doing this on video. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like it's maybe it's slightly crooked or something, but it is what it is. So that's it, all put together. It's a good looking clone. It looks really good. Let's take it out, have a vape off of it. Alright guys, that's the intimate up close part of the video. Get to see all of the goodies, how to do your different configurations with it, how to adjust your battery rattle. It is nice. You know, the threading on this is super good. It's really, really smooth. Like you just spin this thing around. It's really super nice. It looks good. Fit, form, function, all of that. It works really good. I can't say this is like my all-day vapor, just because I do low resistance builds personally. I like to go to the copper Nemesis a lot. I use the gold-plated Sentinel a lot. And maybe that's just personally the way I feel about it. But yeah, it actually feels really good in my hand. And if I'm vaping stuff like just, you know, regular contact coils, micro coils, you know, right now I've got like a 20 gauge 4 wrap. It's probably coming in at about 0.12 on this build, if I remember correctly. I'll vape stuff like that on here. But if I'm doing like 20 gauge Tigers or, you know, 22 gauge parallels, then I'll take it to a different mod, definitely. If you are vaping in and around the sub-ohm range, you know, 0.3s and 0.4s and stuff, this is a great mod. This is a great mod. Or if you're vaping like 1 ohm stuff, if you're vaping like 1.5 ohm, it really does work well. Yeah, it's a good clone. It's got some of the nicest threading that I've actually had my pleasure of, you know, spinning my greasy, dirty little hands on. It does work well. The arc flash thing that I had with it was kind of a pain, but you know what? That's just one of those 1 in 100,000 kind of things, you know, like or like 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 1,000. Maybe it was 1 in 100. Who knows? But yeah, another thing that kind of freaks me out about this is the adjustment for the battery. Like it's not consistent. Like if I turn it a bit, it's, you know, it's got a huge gap, or it's got a lot of battery rattle, and if I turn it just a tiny bit more, it's super tight, or it's not consistent. Like I think it spins in there a little bit as I turn it, but that kind of weirds me out about it. Otherwise, like, it's a really good clone. Pick yourself up one. I got it from happyvaper.com. Description's in the or the link is in the description below. Check it out. If you like my videos, like, comment, and subscribe. It's Maestro Vapes. I got a bunch of stuff. I usually put out a video every week, if not like 2 or 3. Dirt bike season's coming up, so you're probably only going to get like 1 per week from me, unless some exciting stuff comes out. But let's have a vape here. Man. And I'm vaping this Wonderland juice. Oh, it's good. How come when you got a vape in your lungs, it's like reverse helium? Like helium gives you that high pitched chirp, but when you talk with a vape, it's like you become Barry White. You know what I mean? Like, check this out. Welcome back to Maestro Vapes. Let's see you on the next one. Oh man, it's really good. Alright guys, Panzer Clone, it's pretty good. See you on the next one. Have a good day. Like I always say, you know, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it, and you're gonna have yourself a stellar day, alright? Peace out, y'all.